Hey everyone, this is Jennifer, a director of Texas Surrogacy, and I am filling in for Marsha for a couple weeks. I have a question today that is near and dear to my own heart. It is, does Texas Surrogacy help active duty military families, and do you have any good advice for active duty military families? This is near and dear to me because I am actually also an active duty military spouse. So maybe I won't say which branch because I don't want to cause any rivalries or anything. But definitely have been married to a military member for 20 years, so it's been a long and interesting journey, and I know what a lot of military families are going through. But yes, we do, as a matching entity, help active duty families. We do offer a 20% discount on our agency fees so that we can help, because we know the difficulties of it. So many difficulties in so many different levels. But my best advice would be to kind of fight against some of those common misconceptions, and I see this a lot. I see a lot of people who are an intended parent who have TRICARE themselves, and they'll call TRICARE and say, hey, I have a friend, a family member who want to be a gestational carrier for me. Will my insurance cover? And TRICARE will say, no, it won't unless your gestational carrier is also military or military dependent. And I have to say that advice makes me very nervous and very skeptical, because what they're not telling people is that the person who's covered, their insurance coverage is what matters. So technically, if a gestational carrier is married to a military member and they are a TRICARE recipient, technically they can use TRICARE insurance. What TRICARE does not tell you is that they have the right to come back and ask people to repay reasonable expenses, but they don't tell you what the amount of reasonable expenses, nor do they have any guidelines as to what that is. Also, they do not give a timeline as for how long it is that they have to go after those families or to that gestational carrier to have her repay that amount. That what the consequence of that could mean is that in 5, 6, 7 years, and we've actually seen this happen, that to people, not through our agency, but we've seen people have it happen outside, is that the TRICARE then will turn around and come back to the gestational carrier and say, hey, thank you very much. We saw that you gave birth to a child. You were acting as a gestational carrier. Please pay us back $15,000 now because we expended medical expenses on your behalf, and that's what we think is reasonable. At which point you have to go back to these intended parents who have a 5, 6, 7-year-old. They're not expecting medical bills. You as a gestational carrier were not expecting to have to pay these medical bills as well. And it really leaves a big lurch at a time when nobody expected it. So our perception from our agency viewpoint is that TRICARE is not military or is not surrogacy friendly, in that we would rather you absolutely find some other insurance to use instead. But definitely it's something that you just want to kind of dig a layer deeper into what people are saying and what TRICARE reps are trying to say to you. So definitely always happy. Please reach out to us for a consultation. Happy to talk you through the finer details of why this is okay versus why it's, or really quite honestly in this case, why this is not okay, and what is okay and what other alternatives there are out there that can take care of this instead. So I hope that helps, and I hope that we can help take care of some military families out there, because this is near and dear to me. So thanks so much. Bye.